We've talked about the 4Kids, Cinelume, Dubbing Brothers, and Nickelodeon dubs of Winx Club, and now, last but kinda not least, we discuss the most recent dub, DuArt, and also 3Beep. This one's kind of weird, considering that 3Beep is actually a post-production company created by employees who broke off from DuArt Film and Video, but we'll discuss that a little while later. But after the end of the deal between Rainbow and Nickelodeon to co-produce the show's 5th and 6th seasons, Nickelodeon became strictly a distributor of the series, primarily showing the rest of Season 6 online and on Nick Jr., and Season 7 solely on Nick Jr. This likewise meant, unfortunately for fans of the Nick dub, the end of Nickelodeon dubbing the series. And so Rainbow needed a new partner for dubbing the series. Enter DuArt Film and Video. DuArt is a New York-based post-production company that actually features some voice actors from the old 4Kids dub of the series, including Jessica Paquet, aka Rebecca Solar, who voiced Tecna in the 4Kids dub of Season 3.
If we were to directly defy our headmistress, we could be suspended, or even worse, expelled.
And Lisa Ortiz, the 4Kids voice of Musa, Icy, and Digit.
And fighting 4 against 1? What do you call that? You're the aggressor here. That's right, you're an escaped convict witch, and we're sending you back to prison.
DuArt dubbed the 7th season for distribution, and also dubbed the 1st season of the spin-off series World of Winx on Netflix. Some talent from DuArt, however, broke off and created their own company called 3Beep, which handled World of Winx Season 2 and the English dub of Season 8, with mostly the same cast as the DuArt dub, albeit with a few exceptions. And so today, as the final installment in our series on the different English dubs of Winx Club, we're going to be discussing both dubs and where they stand in my humble opinion. Spoiler alert, it's alright. Well, the DuArt dub and 3Beep dub of World of Winx Season 2 are fine. The 3Beep dub of Winx Season 8 is, oof. The DuArt dub of Season 7 is passable. The voice actresses fit their roles well enough, and their performances, while shaky at first, eventually proved to range from serviceable to actually pretty darn good by the end of the season. It's much like the Cinelume dub in that respect, and this is especially helped given that DuArt did not change the dialogue too much in translation like Nickelodeon had. For Bloom, we have Haven Pascal, who I wasn't too fond of at first, but that's probably because I tend to not enjoy higher-pitched voices for Bloom in the first place. I mean, I'm certainly no fan of Cindy Robinson's portrayal of the character in the Dubbing Brothers versions of the movies, yet she is a phenomenal voice actress I've loved in many other roles. That all said, however, Haven actually doesn't wind up making Bloom's character feel whiny or immature, as was my initial impression in Fear. In fact, she does a very solid job in lending to Bloom's optimism and positive attitude, along with her maturity after all of her adventures. Not unlike Angela Gallupo's performance in the Cinelume dub of the 4th season.
That is why we came here. I guess we don't have anything to hide anymore.
Not to mention, holy fuck, Haven's singing voice is gorgeous.
Our wings were ours, yes they were ours for always. Our wings were ours for always.
Stella's DuArt actress, meanwhile, Jessica Paquet, is by far and away my favorite member of the cast. She nails the weird eccentricity of Stella's character while still keeping her weirdly lovable.
Do you think we're gonna have a dressing room, a makeup artist, and all that?
Stella, we're in the Middle Ages.
As much as I respect some of Amy Gross' performances in the Nick dub, I was never fully satisfied with her casting for the role in general. But Jessica? She reminds me a lot of both Jennifer Seguin and Karen Manuel from the Cinelume and 4Kids dubs respectively. And I find it even funnier given Jessica voiced Tecna during the 4Kids dub of Season 3. I'm sorry, I can't get over little trivia bits like that. Then we have Eileen Stevens as Flora,
It concerns the Magic Wolves, like the ones you just healed.
who weirdly enough also voices the villain of the season, Kalshara.
It's called Wild Magic. You should try it sometime.
But you'd probably never know that without looking it up because goddamn Eileen has an incredible range of performances. Honestly, Eileen to this day gives my favorite performance as Flora, keeping her sweet, sincere, and calm without forgetting her maturity and strength. like many of Flora's other voice actresses have forgotten, unfortunately. Kate Bristol, likewise, definitely provides my favorite Musa voice.
I think I've just found someone who can help us.
Her voice has a slight raspiness that's incredibly laid back and low, fitting Musa's character like a glove. Not to mention, she sings like an angel.
Winged creatures, what are you? You're fairies, you're fairies. I know it's true.
Saskia Marleveld voices Tekna in this dub, and while she isn't my top choice for the character, she's definitely up there among my favorites.
They certainly won't be any help. We'll have to find the Quill Cat on our own.
What can I say? Raspier, more static voices just fit Tekna better. And then we have Alicia Deslaro as Aisha, who's probably the weakest member of the main cast.
It's a temporary solution. And it wouldn't hurt you to try to be nice to Squonk, you know.
Her performance is fine, and she definitely improves as the season goes on. But specifically towards the start of the season, she tends to sound like she's just reading her lines with little to no emotion or investment, or not even really any proper direction. And quite possibly the most underrated member of the principal cast, Susie Myers as Roxy, because yes, Roxy is the 7th Winx and you can fight me on that.
Yes! From a place where all fairy animals live free in their natural habitat.
But Susie captures Roxy's fiery and impulsive nature, especially compared to the more mature performances of the other Winx. Not to mention, Susie actually voiced Stormy in the 4Kids dub.
We know she's his favorite, but don't worry, she'll mess it up just like she always does.
Just goes to show that proper direction and casting are vital for providing quality voice actors with all they need to give a damn good performance. And a lot of them have a lot more range than you might initially expect. The rest of the cast is pretty solid as well, and thankfully none are outright horrible. Except for some new voices we hear in the finale episodes, Daphne and the Tricks.
Thorn, thank you for responding to my call.
Daphne's actress, who I actually could not find online, just does not fit the character at all. It's a similar problem with Annick Matern's performance as Musa in the Cinelume dubs of the 3rd and 4th seasons, where the actress sounds far too old for the character. The Tricks, meanwhile, just do not sound threatening whatsoever.
I love our new powers.
Erica Schroeder is wonderful as Farragonda, but as Icy, it's another case of a great actress cast in the wrong role. Funnily enough, Erica also voiced Daphne in the 4Kids dub, so why not just have Erica reprise her old role? She was a pretty solid Daphne after all, and here she'd get the chance to emote a lot more. That's another problem I actually have with Icy's voice in this dub. Why did they not just recast Lisa Ortiz? I mean, she's by far and away the best voice Icy has ever had. And ironically, her performance is the closest to Icy's original Italian voice.
Quello era anche il tuo piano, non è vero? Toglierci definitivamente di mezzo. Come ti permetti?
But now, let's just have Lisa voice Griselda,
How will we save the college?
Cherie, and a few other extras. It's fine, it's fine. And the specialists? The less said about their voices, the better.
All right, go get 'em, girls.
Save for Timmy, the casting for them is a yikes from Meat Chief. It doesn't help that the specialists are hardly in this season either, but there's not much to say about the World of Winx dub either, since its first season was also done by DuArt, with all the same actresses reprising their roles from season 7. But the spin-off second season is a bit of a different story. As I mentioned earlier, many of the people at DuArt went on to form their own post-production company called 3Beep, and they were the ones who handled dubbing World of Winx Season 2 and eventually Season 8. However, you probably wouldn't be able to pick up on that change between World of Winx Seasons 1 and 2. Lord knows I did not at first. The only voice to be replaced, from my understanding, was Alicia Deslaro, with Eleanor Vanderberg taking her place as Aisha.
Why are we the only ones?
And here, it's actually an improvement. She's not a major step up, but she at least is better at emoting as Aisha, specifically in conveying her more rough and tumble attitude.
I don't feel like playing anymore.
Now Season 8, I don't know what happened, but even the returning actresses who normally do great work like Saskia just don't work here. Maybe it was the fact that the voice direction thought, oh cool, this season is for even younger viewers, so we don't have to put as much effort into this one. But whatever the case, definitely try to stick with the Italian version of season 8 if you really want to go out of your way to see it. As I mentioned, Saskia still voices Tecna. Eleanor continues as Aisha from World of Winx Season 2, and Jessica is still here as Tecna, and still radiant as always.
Too easy. I'm just the best.
All the other Winx, however, have new voice actresses, and sadly, we're starting off with the weakest new voice. Emily Kramer as Bloom. Remember how I said Haven did a good job at keeping Bloom's voice from becoming whiny and immature? Well, Emily's performance is what I was afraid Haven's was gonna be.
What do you mean Sky left? Like, out of the blue? What about my surprise?
It's a similar story for Brittany Presley as Flora.
We do have an important mission, girls.
Funnily enough, Brittany voiced Annabelle and Tinkerbell in World of Winx. Yeah, Tinkerbell was in World of Winx. They went to Neverland. It was a weird time. And she did a pretty good job there, but her performance very much harkens back to Carrie Williams' voice in the 4Kids dub, and even Holly Gother Frankel in the Cinelume dub of Season 4. Higher pitched, weaker, and all around more grating. One voice, however, you might not recognize as different at first is Allison Leigh Rosenfeld as Musa.
Don't worry. I know what it's like to be disappointed.
Allison is not a newcomer by any means, as she voiced Miele in the DuArt dub of Season 7, or Miel, I guess.
I have. I go to a magic school and everything. I want to come with you.
And Evans in World of Winx. And like Brittany, she was perfectly fine there. Well, as Evans, anyway. Her Miele voice was, well, it felt like she was trying to voice tiny Miele from Season 3 rather than grown-up Miele from Season 6 and 7. Yeah, I get it. Miele got aged down in Season 8, but we ain't there yet. But anyway, as Musa, Allison sadly takes away the laid-back, chill vibe of Kate's performance and at times even makes Musa come across as bratty. This especially goes for any scene between her and Riven. That drama is already aggravating to deal with, but this dub certainly does not help.
I haven't heard from you for so long, and now that you're back, you didn't even call to tell me? Same old egomaniac.
Oh yeah, and Roxy isn't even in Season 8, so that's... Thanks. That's also not to mention Valtor's performance is lacking. Queen Dorana, sometimes called Dorona, changes the pronunciation of her brother's name constantly.
How I wish Arjun was here. My brother Argan.
It's just, this ain't it, Chief. So all in all, the DuArt dub is probably the second best of all the existing Winx Club dubs. It has most of the same qualities and strengths as the Cinelume dub, especially with the cast that grows stronger as the show carries on. However, I sadly can't say the same about the 3-beep dub, and given how indistinguishable it is to the DuArt dub of World of Winx Season 2, it's a lot harder to separate them from each other. I would personally say DuArt provided the superior dub, whereas 3-beep sadly had too many shortcomings in Season 8 to really compete. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure not only to check out my other videos, including my old documentary series on the history of this godforsaken franchise, but also to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications of my new videos because YouTube hates creators. I'm the Unicorn of War, and this has been a gay-ass revolution.
Ah!